So, welcome to the 8th grade project. This is going to be the teacher example, and it's 25 by 6 inch. So, the first thing you'll do when you get your paper is you'll come to this bottom corner here. You'll put your first name, last name, and block. So, block, whatever your block is, and whether or not you are A Day or B Day. So just so you know, first name, last name, block, whatever block you are, and then indicate whether you're A or B Day. This is now your back, so you're going to turn it. Like I said, this is a very long piece of paper. It's 25 inches, and we're going to be breaking it into 5 blocks. So what you'll do is you'll take your ruler, and there's 2 sides to a ruler. You have the inches side and the centimeter. You notice the inches side is further apart, and the centimeter is really close together. We're going to want to use this side, the inches. Keep in mind that the 1 inch should start here at the 0, not here at the end of the ruler. So, we're going to be breaking this into each block. So what I'll do is you'll notice I'll come here with my particular ruler, and I'm lining up the side of my ruler with the paper. Lining up the side of my ruler with my paper, and I'm lining up the line here with the edge of the paper. Then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put a little mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put a little mark at the 10. Some of you will probably have shorter rulers than what I have, so I'm going to show you that because you'll usually cut off at 12. So what you'll do is you'll bring this down. You'll line up with that second mark you made, and you'll make sure that your ruler is lined up with the edge of your paper. So if you notice, I'm taking the tip of my pencil, putting it on the edge of the paper, and making sure that that's lined up to make sure I'm getting straight. Now I'm going to count from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put a little mark here, and then I'm going to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I end up with 4 marks total. Now, what you don't want to do for these next set of marks is you don't want to turn your paper. Don't do that. Don't. What you're going to do is you're going to come here with your ruler, bring it up towards the top, and you're going to line this up as best you can with the edge of your paper. And you're going to be able to tell, if you're looking here, that this is narrower than down here, which means it's not straight. So you're going to use your eyes, try to line up as best you can. And then same thing, you're going to count 5, put a mark, count to 10, put a mark. You'll come in, reline up with that mark. And if it looks smaller at the other end than down here, then it's not straight. So you're going to just line up as best you can. Count, go to 5, count, go to 10, and that's it. The next thing you're going to do, and I'm going to do mine with Sharpie so you guys can see it easier, but I want you to do it with pencil first, is you're going to take these 2, your dot that you just made, and you're going to line that up with the other dot you made. But you can also take the edge of your ruler when you're doing this, and you can use the pencil for this. Put it on the end of the paper to help you get a straight line. If you notice when I'm holding my ruler, I'm holding it with my hands spread out. The reason why is if I hold it in just one area, it's going to move. It's going to move as I go. So you want to spread it out and hold it down. You want to make sure that if you're right-handed, you're holding it with your left hand so you're not crossing. And if you're left-handed, you're wanting to hold the ruler and put it like this and pulling towards you so you're not crossing. You don't want to cross your hand at any point. So I'm going to pause, and when you see me next, you're going to see all my lines on the paper. Okay, so you can see I have my 4 lines, and by drawing 4 lines, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. And this is what we want. So you'd go through, you erase any pencil that you have, because you will go over this part in Sharpie, and this is the only part you'll go over in Sharpie right now. Your next step is you're going to choose a fruit or a base, like a ball of some sort. You're going to choose something that you can draw, because we're going to be repeatedly drawing it 5 times. Alright, I'm going to pause as I find my image, and then you'll see. Alright, so I decided I'm going to do pumpkins because I like pumpkins. And you're going to mess up, so it's really important that you're sketching, and I'm trying to zoom in on this one section. Hold on, so that you can see me do this up close. So, I've already decided I'm going to do pumpkin. Pumpkin's shape is basically like an oval. So you can start by drawing out. So if you notice, it's very, very light. We're trying to put this towards the middle of our paper. It's very important that it's light so that we can easily erase. Remember, part of what you're being graded on is neatness, and that means if you have a bunch of lines that we can see from when you erased, then that is ruining your neatness. So I have my basic shape. Now I'm going to come in, I'm going to start drawing out my pumpkin. So usually when you're drawing a pumpkin, you're going to have this middle piece, which I'm going to draw it a little bit bigger than my actual shape that I drew. It's going to be another oval type shape. Like I said, I'm keeping this super simple. I don't want it overly complicated, not for this project. Like I said, I messed up, so I'm going to erase, but it didn't leave any nasty marks behind. Do not press down hard. If you notice, I'm holding back on my pencil a little bit. I'm not sitting up here on it. So I hold it either here, so a little bit further back, or I hold it at the very end to get these loose sort of lines. Now, I'm not getting this to do what I want it to do, so I'm going to flip my paper. And I can get the curve that I'm looking for now. That's a better curve of what I'm looking for personally. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw 2 more on each side, but they're a little different. I'm going to come in here. It's going to come out like this. And then and then I do here. This one starts lower, but it also is going to end higher. I'm going to come over here, same thing. And then you don't want to forget my stem. If you notice, I'm going to turn my paper because I work a little bit better when I can turn my paper. I don't like that stem at all. Okay? So, after you have the same thing almost exactly as closely as you can drawn in each one, you're going to take your Sharpie, and it will be one of these fine tip. So if you like, it says fine point, and that's the one we'll use. Fine point, and that's the one we'll use. You don't want to use the ultra fine because it'll be too thin. We don't want to use anything thicker because it'll be too thick. So you're just going to come in, and when you're outlining, you need to pull in even lines. So I'm going to pull towards me. I'm going to start here at the top, and you don't want to hold it in a spot too long, because what happens is when you hold something, if you put it down and then just wait, and then start to move, you see how it has a little dot? We don't want those dots to go too close. You also want to avoid doing this, because the time for sketching was here, and now with our Sharpies, we don't want that sketchy look. So you'll put it here, and you notice how I'm turning my paper, and I'm going to put it here at the top and pull towards me. I'll come here, go ahead and do this line. I'm stopping where it would be uncomfortable. Like a turn. And then I'm going to turn my paper so my pumpkin's upside down. Come towards me. Towards me. Pull towards me. And as you come in. And that's my pumpkin. So, you only outline after you've done all 5. But once you've done, you're going to come in with the eraser. With the big eraser, please do not use the eraser on your pencils. And you're going to work in tight circles. We're going to work in tight circles so that we can get all the pencil away. You notice I went through around this one hole first. Then I'm going to do this line. Then I'm going to do this line. We do circles instead of these back and forth because when we go back and forth, we still miss a lot. The tiny circles gives us more coverage. I come in on my stem, down this one, this one, and you notice how I'm holding my paper down. Alright, so, and that's how you do that. So the next time you see my paper, I'm going to have all 5 of mine done, and then I'll show you the next step in the next video.